What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global here, back with another video. Now, obviously, this one's not going to be very upbeat. This is a video that I can't say I'm surprised I'm making, but it's a video that you never want to make. Especially because around this time, as Patriots fans, we had to deal with the departure of our longtime quarterback, Tom Brady. And just a little bit over a year later, we have to deal with our fan favorite wide receiver for years in wide receiver Julian Edelman. As you guys do know, Julian Edelman did announce his retirement. Now, this does come as a little bit prior to him announcing this. The Patriots did release him. From what I understand, it was a failed physical. This does not surprise, I think, any of us that, that physical was failed. Now, straight off of the bat, I'm not totally sure why they released him and then he retired. Now, maybe he wanted to continue playing football, but the Patriots were like, look, we have to release you. But even then, what I would have done is, if Edelman wanted to retire, he felt like that was the role for him, then personally what I would have done is put him on, or let him retire and then put him on a reserve list, because if for some reason Edelman in a few years is doing better and he wants to come back and play football, then the Patriots would own the rights to him. As where if he does decide to come back, he would be a free agent and he could sign anywhere. Now, Edelman actually had a whole video that he posted saying that he was retiring and he has to step away from football. I'm not going to include the video for, of course, copyright reasons. You guys can go ahead and check that out if you would like to. He did say, and I quote, "I've always said I'm going until the wheels come off, and they finally have fallen off." I think that we can all agree that that has been the case with Julian Edelman over the last, 11 years he's been in the NFL. He's given us his all time after time. The way that he would dive into the end zone, do flips, like he was defying gravity when obviously gravity was still a factor. The fact that he even got to 34 is tremendous. And in this video, Julian Edelman stated something that all of us Patriots fans needed to hear. Whether you want to admit it or not, you needed to hear this, and that's the fact that he said, "I am retiring a Patriot." And that's a quote. He said, "I am retiring a Patriot." And New England fans needed that after you thought Tom Brady retired as a Patriot. Or not retired as a Patriot. Tom Brady didn't retire. Gronkowski retired as a Patriot. Then Tom Brady hits free agency. He leaves. He signs with the Bucs. Gronk says, "Oh, shoot, Tom's going to another team. I want to do the same." He unretires and goes to the Bucs. So obviously the Patriots Patriot fans got double whammied there with two longtime Patriots, two longtime great Patriots we thought were going to retire Patriots players. And I think that's something that worried a lot of people with Julian Edelman, was that he was going to take that same route. He was going to go to the Bucs. Belichick was kind of going to do what's best for the team, save some money if Edelman couldn't, perform up to par. And then Edelman was going to go to another team because he had football left in him. I personally never bought into that, and it looks like Edelman never did either. I believe that if Edelman thought that he could still play football, but Belichick disagreed and said, "We're going to have to release you," no matter how Julian Edelman felt, he would have still retired, because retiring a Patriot has always been a very, very big thing to him. I mean, let's look at the facts. He could have asked to be released. He could have asked to be traded to the Buccaneers. He did not. He didn't want to. He was released by the Patriots first and then retired. If he really wanted to continue playing football, he wanted to play for the Bucs, he could have went and done so rather than retiring. Now, Edelman also said this, and I quote, "It's been the best 12 years of my life. It's a hell of a run. And I can't forget you, Pats Nation. You guys have welcomed me and my family to a region we didn't know, but now I'm one of you." He then said, "I'm going to leave you guys with 2 words. Foxborough forever." I am proud and confident to say that Julian Edelman will retire a Patriot. I'm confident in saying that I don't believe he will come out of retirement and play for another team, because he had that opportunity if he wanted to. And although he is retired, I do expect Julian Edelman to somehow be involved with the Patriots one way or another. I expect him to still root for this team. I don't expect him to kind of take the Gronk route and just fall off the face of the earth and not care about the Patriots anymore. I think it's going to be like a Ninkovich type of role where he's still kind of around the team. He's still involved some type of way with the team. But no matter what, he's always supporting New England. No matter who's under center, win or lose, Foxborough forever. Now, for those who are interested in where Julian Edelman kind of ranks throughout our franchise history, I believe it was NBC Boston, Sports Boston, I believe that came out with this. But Julian Edelman, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, 1-time Super Bowl MVP. He has 620 receptions. That ranked second in New England Patriots franchise history. He has 6,822 receiving yards, fourth among franchise history. 36 touchdowns, which ranks ninth in franchise history. Will he be a Hall of Famer in the NFL? I don't know. We'll just have to see. It's definitely going to be tough. But without a doubt, 120%, Julian Edelman is a New England Patriots Hall of Famer. And for those who feel Julian Edelman's just milking it, let me go over the last few years of his career and kind of talk about how he's navigated through this. So he only played 6 games this past season. He's been dealing with a knee injury for years, okay? Was only able to appear in 6 games this past season, though, which is understandable. Does it suck? Yes, but understandable. In 2019, he appeared in all 16 games. Very, very surprising. But I know that he was pushing through. He was in a lot of pain in 2019, but he continued to push through that knee injury because he knew that the Patriots needed him. You know, the Patriots didn't have any receivers that year. That year, Tom Brady was still there. Julian Edelman, of course, his go-to guy. So overall, he kind of just stuck with the pain. He knew that they were going to hit the playoffs, and they needed him. In 2018, he only appeared in 12 games because, let's remember, he did get suspended 4 games for the use of PEDs. Then, if you're going to look to 2017, he missed the entire season because in the preseason against the Lions, he had torn his ACL. So from 2017 to now, you can see that Julian Edelman has been through a lot, and the fact that he was able to continue for as long as he did is just beyond impressive. Now, from a business standpoint, which I hate to talk about because it's Edelman, but you know, it's nonetheless, it's the job. We got to talk about it. This does free up a roster spot for the Patriots. They did also release another player earlier today. Not really much to talk about with him, so I'm not really going to touch upon it. So I believe now the Patriots are at about 76 players out of the possible 90, and this does hurt the Patriots wide receiver core a little bit. My own personal opinion, I didn't really include Julian Edelman this offseason as much in, you know, the depth chart just because I kind of figured something was going to happen. Things just weren't looking good. He wasn't training with the team when they were all practicing together, which is very unlike Julian Edelman. So I knew something was up, so I didn't include him too much. The Patriots already have him off of the depth chart, which just pains to see. But this will get the Patriots to about $15.2 million in available cap space. Obviously, the Patriots are going to still make some types of moves. Not exactly sure what it is. I still honestly would not mind seeing them add another wide receiver. With Edelman retired, we're still hearing the N'Keal Harry trade rumors. That would bring the Patriots down significantly. So right now, your number 1 wide receiver would be Nelson Aguilar. Then you have N'Keal Harry, you have Christian Wilkerson, Kendrick Bourne, Gunnar Olszewski, Isaiah Zuber, Jacoby Myers, and Matthew Slater. Obviously, Slater won't be mixed into that, but is still listed as a wide receiver. If the Patriots do keep N'Keal Harry, I only see about 4 guys actually being potential difference makers. Because outside of Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers, and N'Keal Harry, you just have Gunnar Olszewski, Matthew Slater, Christian Wilkerson, and Isaiah Zuber. You know, I don't really see much of them making too much of an impact. Maybe Gunnar does, but I'm not, going to put him into that mix just yet when we haven't really seen much of him as a receiver. if the Patriots do end up trading N'Keal Harry, that means that they have just 3 wide receivers that are going to make an actual impact. They're going to be your starters, and that's Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, and Jacoby Myers. You trade N'Keal Harry, then the guys you have behind him would be Matthew Slater, Gunnar Olszewski, Christian Wilkerson, and Isaiah Zuber. Yes, they do have their tight ends, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Devin Asiasi, Dalton Keene, but I don't see that Vamps tight end core completely taking over from, still that depleted wide receiver group the Patriots still have. So although the big names for the most part are taken off of the list at wide receiver, I do still expect New England to add someone within that group, whether it is in free agency, trade, or draft. I do expect an addition to be added to wide receiver. Before we end this one off, though, I do want to talk about the sponsors of this video, betonline.ag. Now, BetOnline has the fastest and easiest ways to bet on all of your sports action. Football might be over, but NBA, college basketball, and the NHL are still in full swing. BetOnline even covers awards, TV shows, and reality TV, along with real-time updated odds and props on almost anything that you can imagine. BetOnline also has you covered for all of the news, scores, and odds, and it is the best way to place your bets, and it's completely free to sign up. All you guys got to do is head to their website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't sit on the sidelines anymore. Get in with the action. Do not forget to use that promo code CLNS50 to receive a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. This is BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Y'all, Julian Edelman has announced his retirement. It's tough to believe, but honestly, it just makes a ton of sense and something that we should have seen coming. All in all, though, the pain hurts so much less knowing that he's retiring a Patriot, he wants to retire a Patriot, and that he's not going anywhere. So I'm going to say one thing before we end this one off, and that is thank you, Julian Edelman, and like Edelman said, Foxborough forever. Like always on Patriots Global, I do appreciate each and every single one of you guys for watching this video and supporting the channel. Make sure you guys leave a big like on this video. It helps me and the YouTube algorithm tremendously. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already for all of your New England Patriots news. And like always, I'll catch you in the next one.